And you know, us sports moms have something to say.
Yes, we do. We'll have a chance to interview across the board, from athletes to the parents to the coaches to even the trainers.
And we're not afraid to share our journey. We're not afraid to tell other moms what we went through in order to raise up a student athlete. So I believe that it's inspirational.
Yeah. We able to tell our story, the good and the bad.
We can give back positive information.
Absolutely.
You know, we can empower them.
Yes, I think it's time for the mothers to be a voice.
Yes, that's it.
It's time for us to let you know what's going on.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Karen by myself. Can we talk show? Can we talk sports? Must go on. Tonight I am by myself because the other ladies, they had, something else to do. They're moms. I understand it. They are always super moms, busy. They have kids. And so I just really felt like we had to go on tonight to report some local news. I am so excited to have on the show our guests tonight. It's so much going on. You see so much stuff going on TV, and you kind of wonder what's going on right in my backyard, what's going on in my own community. So, can we talk sport? We're more than just a sports page. We are moms. We're moms that live in a community. And so we thought it was very important to bring local news on tonight. So I'm excited to have on the show the mayor of DeSoto. You know, I'm a DeSoto fan. I'm all about our community. So I'm excited to have the mayor on the show. And I'm excited to have the police chief on the show tonight, you guys. So that if you have questions, comments for them, put them in the comment section. If there's something you need to know about what's going on in the community of DeSoto, put the questions out there. We have them right here, you guys. So let's welcome to the show Mayor Curtistene McCowan and Chief of Police Joseph Koska. Hey guys, welcome.
Hey, Karen, how you doing?
How are you?
To the show. I'm great. Oh my God, it's such an honor. It's such an honor to have you guys on the show. So, tell me about yourself. Start with you, Mayor McCowan. Who are you and what do you do?
Oh, wow. I am Curtistene S. McCowan, and I am the proud mayor of the All-American City of DeSoto, Texas. I served as mayor since 2016 and ran for re-election in 2019 and serving my second term. And as you know, Karen, we have term limits in DeSoto. So I'm into a year now of that second term, which means I've got to continue to work really hard and fast for the next 2 years because we're term limited. But it's been just my honor and my privilege to serve. I was elected to city council, actually elected to council in 2012 and served a couple of times as mayor pro tem prior to becoming mayor. But I have a little bit of history here in DeSoto. This year marks our 43rd year in the city of DeSoto. So my earlier years here, I was all involved in the schools in DeSoto ISD as a volunteer, served a couple of terms on the DeSoto ISD Board of Trustees, served as board president, among holding some other offices, but had the honor of serving as board president. I was the charter president for the Education Foundation and still serving on that board. So there's just, there are a number of things I've done in the community, in addition to serving on the school board and supporting our schools, but in addition to serving as mayor. And I won't go into all of that because I know you're going to hear more about Chief Costa, and there's some specific questions that you have for us, but it is just my honor to serve our community as mayor.
Wow, Mayor, you've been busy, and that's a good thing. I see you're somebody that is really proud of where you live and understand the importance of building where you sit. That's awesome.
Thank you
So,
so much.
our next guest is Chief Police Joseph Casa. Come on, tell us about you.
Hey,
Tell us about
Karen.
yourself.
First of all, thanks for having me on the program. This is great. It's an honor to be on and be with you and the rest of all your fans that are listening and watching. Sorry, my picture's not there or my image is not there, but I'm undercover tonight. I just went for a run. I don't want anybody to see me, so but my voice is here, so we're good. So, I'm honored to be the chief of police here in DeSoto. I was selected as the chief in 2012. So the mayor came on the council and I came on to be the chief of police at the same time. And we're out in the community together all over the place. We laugh because we usually see each other more out in the community at different events than we do any place else in the city. But I love serving as your police chief. And I started my career in the state police in Massachusetts. Was there for 25 years, rose up through the ranks, became a commander of a unit under a district attorney's office there. And then I retired, came out to Texas as quick as I could, and worked for the state lottery commission for 2 years. And then I was a chief deputy with former Sheriff Lupe Valdez prior to me being selected to the chief of police in DeSoto. So long career. A lot of experience. I've got a lot of foundation from the state police and a lot of really good community involvement, not only in Massachusetts, but here in Texas. And, I love being out in the community. I love DeSoto. We've got so much to offer. And it's just a pleasure and an honor to be here as your chief of police.
That's one thing I can say about you guys. I see you in the community. You guys are touchable, you're reachable. And I think that that's what makes us a great community. You're not someone that's always behind the desk and I can't see you. You're right there, whether I go to a concert, a church concert for Discern DeSoto, or show up at a at Kroger's, I might see the chief. I mean, you guys are right in the community. And I think that's one thing I think that's very important, as a community. But you know what? I want to start this off with a game. So
Okay.
there's a game called Would You Rather. And so just to break the ice, to help me calm down, because, being on the show by myself, I'm having to get my nerves down. But there's a game called Would You Rather. And I'm going to ask each one of you 2 questions each. And tell me your best response. So, Mayor, would you rather be always 10 minutes late or always be 20 minutes early?
Wow, Chief could probably answer that. In the city of DeSoto, I've been asked, and I know our fire chief Duffield asks me all the time, did I serve in the military? I am a stickler for being early and on time. Being on time, yes. So that was easy for me. On time, 20 minutes early if I can, but if I can't be 20 minutes early, I definitely want to be on time.
Good. Okay, Chief, how about this? Would you rather have one real get out of jail free card or a key to an open door, any open door?
Well, seeing as I'll probably never go to jail, I'd rather have the key to an open door. That makes it more exciting.
Okay.
You never know what you're going to find, right?
That's
Right.
exactly right.
All right. Okay, Mayor, how about this one? Would you rather have all traffic lights that you approach green or never have to stand in line again?
green. I'd like to keep going. I like to keep moving. That is it. And not suggesting that I'm speeding or anything with the chief on the line. But I want to keep things moving and moving in the right direction too.
All right. And one more for you, Chief.
Okay.
Would you rather give up all drinks except water or give up eating anything that is cooked in the oven?
Wow. That's a tough one. Let's see. Seeing as I like a Coors Light every now and then, I'm going to have to say I'd rather give up everything that's cooked in the oven. You can always find something to eat.
I love you, Chief. I love you.
That's a good one, Karen.
Yes,
Real, he keeps it real.
he does. He does. I just love that about him, you know. So let's get into COVID-19.
All right.
First, you, Mayor, tell me about how COVID-19 has affected the community of DeSoto.
Wow. Karen, unfortunately, it's affected it in ways that we really didn't want to see. We've had cases, a rise in the number of cases. That means the number of our citizens who have tested positive. More so, we didn't want to see one case, but the reality of it is we have. And the last number I saw, and I believe that was on Friday, and the number was 121 cases, number of people testing positive. And the number of deaths, which we, believe that one death is too many, we've had 3 in the community. And so that lets you know how it's impacted our city. It's also impacted our city in terms of we know that we've had to close the facilities, and that just broke our hearts, but it was the safest thing to do because our number one priority is to keep our citizens safe. So we've had to close facilities for several weeks. But one of the things I've stressed about that is that even though facilities were closed to the public, they were not closed to staff, and of course some staff were working remotely, including myself, and that's been it's been interesting. I'm not at the city full time. I work out of my home office most of the time, really, but I love going into the office at least 3 or 4 times a week because that's where I have meetings. I can meet with people. I get to interact with staff there. And I have the blessing of being retired. So that allows me to do that. And all of our council members aren't retired. But one of the reasons I have that flexibility is because of the blessing of being able to retire and contribute that much of my time, as I said, as a volunteer. The other thing I've talked about, facilities being closed. And, we also had to close the equipment, had to shut down equipment at our parks. Now, the parks were open, but this whole thing about trying to let people know we've got to practice social distancing. And also, just making sure that we were not allowing people to get on the equipment because it is just absolutely no way. I guess if you had all the people in the world to constantly go behind every individual, but we know that's not realistic. But our parks and trails were open so that people could, could access them, but the equipment was not. So, anytime you have to do that, that impacts not only our children, but adults as well. One of the things in closing facilities, we had a very active senior community. And so our senior center, one of the facilities that was closed. So what did DeSoto do? DeSoto made sure that those seniors who were relying or had been relying on getting their meals at the senior center. The city of DeSoto delivers those meals to them. And so we're very, very proud of that. And of course, you know that our school district, with school being closed, they've also provided meals to the children in the community. So talk about the impact on our staff. Of course, Chief Costa can talk about how our first responders have been impacted and the things that we're doing collaboratively to work collaboratively with cities in the best Southwest area and working in lockstep with not only the cities in the best Southwest area, but the county. So while we've experienced these challenges in terms of how we work, how we provide services, the library, and all of these services that we're accustomed to providing our citizens on site, our Parks and Rec department, the Civic Center, all of that, it's really been hard to continue to see our community move on and try to shelter in and not have those services. But, we all understand we're doing what we had to do in order to keep people safe and save lives. So a lot has been done. And tomorrow night, we're going to, and I'm throwing this in early, we're going to have a town hall meeting with County Judge Jenkins and our county health official, Dr. Wong. 1 hour, with them being all over the place, there will be a town hall, and we can give some more specific information on that before the show concludes. But we're doing all we can to keep our community safe and to provide the services that not only that our community needs, but that they deserve.
Well, you just brought something to my mind, and that was our seniors. I'm here at the house, but I never really thought, I check on my mom, but you just brought something in perspective. Those seniors, they expected to go to the senior citizen center every day to hang out with their friends, and the fact that they couldn't do that, wow, that impacts my heart, because some of them may not have people that's around them to check on them and stuff, and that was that's how they stayed active. So
Karen, I do want to make sure I say this, and that is our staff, our Parks and Recreation staff. I mentioned those that get their meals, but they're also calling the seniors to check on them.
Good.
Yeah, we've been on that, just very, very much concerned and making sure that they're being informed about what's going on.
That's good. That's really good. Now, Chief, I was wondering, have COVID-19 scared off all the criminals? So tell us about what's going on in the in the crime. Did it slow down?
Oh my, you think that stay at home would tell burglars and robbers, stay at home, don't come out. But unfortunately, they're out and about. But
Wow.
I'll say this, crime has gone up about 20% as compared to the first 4 months this year compared to last year.
Wow.
Most of it are family violence calls that we get and aggravated assaults that have to do with domestic violence. And unfortunately, when you put people in their homes with their families and they're stuck there and they can't get out and do any kind of recreation or any kind of traveling around, tensions come to a head, and things happen in families, not only husband and wives, but children on children and mothers and fathers on children. And it's been really a challenge to deal with those family issues, and people just really feeling anxious and frustrated over everything that's happened. We all get that way, but sometimes just some people just can't handle it, and they lash out at the people that they love and they live with. So we've had to answer a lot of calls for service with family violence, and A couple of them have been pretty serious, but most of them have been things that we can deal with and hope that social services can help out. But 20% over last year at this time, that's a lot. And that's just being stuck in, you know. As far as other crimes, we had one kid that was that went on a robbery spree in this whole area, committed about 25 or 30 robberies in the area. And I can say that we captured him last week in our city, and he's behind bars, and he should not bother anyone, at least in the near future. But I think he'll be in jail for a long time. It's just he had a drug habit, and you know, he's trying to feed that drug, and was causing 2 or 3 robberies a day, and it was it was incredible. But no one got really hurt, luckily, and I think we've stopped that. But with people being home and the family violence, like I said, the burglary slowed down because people are home. So someone can't take advantage of people's homes when they're out working or doing things. So people being more at home, then less homes get burglarized. So that's a good thing. If we found some kind of way that we could deal with people's emotions and try to tame their anxieties and their frustrations, I think that we would put a slowdown on family violence. But if people have those tendencies to lash out, I would say, you know, take a breath and just walk away and go outside, go to a park and walk around and do something to chain their emotions. But that's how it's been so far, Karen.
Wow. You know, one thing I can say about social media that I like is the fact that there is a police page, and we'll get a picture on social media, and we'll get a picture of a suspect, and it shares and shares. And I'll be like, whose baby is this? Whose uncle is this? You know, but it shares around and around. And I think that that's one of the good things about social media. We can get the word out and get it passed around in our community, and somebody knows somebody.
That's right. That's right. We solved many crimes by putting pictures out or getting videos from a home that had a video, a surveillance video of something that happened. And I'll tell you, they're invaluable. We've solved many crimes like that, and that helped. We really appreciate that.
Now, Mayor, go ahead.
When we talk about impact, and I've held off on talking about what's really, you know, one of the areas that's been critical, and that is the impact on our businesses. I know you've seen it all over town. We've had businesses that have been shut down, and I don't know if you have some specific questions later, but we've continued to work with the Chamber of Commerce, Economic Development Corporation, and other stakeholders to address not only the needs of our citizens, but we are looking at ways to help our business. And one of the ways was, like I said, was to connect them to Small Business Administration and other resources. The council appointed, in my recommendation, I thought it was just something we needed to do, and work with the city manager and made a recommendation to the council, and it was approved unanimously that we have an economic recovery advisory task force. And I wanted to make sure I shared that task force has been divided into 4 different subcommittees, and the subcommittees are looking at not only business, the area of business, but also education, the community in general, and then let me see, business, education. Oh, the other one is the medical community, medicine in that area. And so there's subcommittees. The city manager is appointed to serve as the general chair of the task force. And then each subcommittee has a chair. Now, they started working last week, and we are very excited about the people we have serving from the community on the task force. And that will be more, you know, maybe at some point we can come back on the show and talk to you a little bit more about the progress we've made. But again, that's an effort to address what we're dealing with now. We're going to be dealing with this for a while, so we want to make sure that we navigate this COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, what is happening now to the best of our ability, but also we want to come out of this thing, better than before. And we know there are going to be a lot of things we're doing differently, but we will have learned a whole lot in the process.
Yeah, I had there was one of the local businesses here in DeSoto, and so she had reached out to me and wanted me to post some stuff on her page, and I was like, she was just saying how it was hard for her because she felt bad because her employees couldn't pay their rent, and so she didn't want to close because that meant that they wouldn't get any money. And I was just like, we need to do live. I said, we need to appeal to our community, because if everybody came and gave you $2 or something to go towards you help continue to keep them on, because she hadn't got any money from the SBA. She hadn't got any of the packages. And so she was struggling. And so for me, I was just like, that's when the community comes together. Sometimes it just takes, if it's 5,000 of us, we all gave $1, that could have took care of her payroll for probably until we come, until things start opening back up. So, but I didn't get a chance to connect with her because I was going to connect with you and, and just put a plea out there to some of these small businesses as well as what we could do as a community. And so that was one of my questions: what is the city doing to help the community, these local businesses? So I'm glad you kind of,
and one thing in terms of, we know finances will always help, but the task force will be looking at, or the city will be looking at, partnering with economic development. That's something that's being discussed. Nothing has been finalized, and as it relates to that, but some funding that we can partner with EDC, Economic Development Corporation, and the city, because we did get a dollar amount, in terms of the CARES funding, through the CARES Act, Community Development Block Grant. And it will not go that far by itself. So the EDC is going to be discussing how we can put those funds together. And it's never going to be enough to go around. But we want to do the very best we can in terms of, once we work out the details about that, but also continuing to work with SBA. We have a local contact with SBA, and his name is Ahmad Gori. And he has been a tremendous resource. This COVID-19 has just been so devastating that, in getting the money from the federal government down to the state, to the municipalities, it has taken some time. And it has also taken all of us writing, our state legislators and our federal officials, our elected officials, giving our input on how important it is. You can't just take care of the big cities. These smaller cities, like DeSoto and those even smaller, we need help too.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that is ongoing.
So they should, there going to be some news coming forth, you said, from the economic department, that how local businesses can get help.
Well, it will be the city of DeSoto and EDC, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
In terms of rolling this out. We're working on that.
Okay.
We're working on that.
Now, Chief, I wanted to kind of help people understand, like in the event of this happening again and we're closed in, what should business owners do when they're dealing with making ends meet as far as livelihood versus the law. Now we know the story about what happened with the beauty salon owner and her. I don't know all the details, but I know that a lot of families have suffered, and there's a lot of self-employment people out here, and that's their livelihood. So can you give business owners any kind of advice of what they should do if this happens again, as far as um, being locked in and how to make ends meet, and that's their only livelihood.
Boy, that's a tough question. First of all, it's the law is that we can't go against the emergency act that's put forward from the state and from the county, and the mayor's had one as well, and we try to stick to that. So we're trying to get through this virus as quick as we can and let it peak and leave us so that we can get back to some sense of normalcy. But in the meantime, we have to follow what the orders are, or we're not going to get out of this. If we take things on too quickly, and I think that we as a city think that this is past us because some things are open, and it's not. I mean, we had another 253 positive cases in the county today, reported today, and 2 more deaths. We had 8 deaths yesterday, and I'm sorry, no deaths yesterday, but 8 deaths the day before, and 10 deaths the day before that in the county, not just in DeSoto, obviously, but it's a serious thing. And we want to get back to our businesses. We want to get back to making ends meet and helping all the people that are working with us in the community. So the best thing I can say is to follow those rules that are put out by the CDC.
Right.
And the mayor talked about our recovery task force, and I'm on the business subcommittee as the city liaison, and we put some things together last week. We had a meeting, and we're going to be putting things on a website, not only to help businesses recover and where they can maybe get some loans and some grants and some things of that nature, as the mayor stated with the EDC, but we're also going to put out there the protocols that they need to follow while they're opening up, because it's important we don't get back to where we just came from. We need to get out of this. And so if we continue to practice those safe distancing, the face masks to protect ourselves, and all the things that we put in place so that we can open slowly but yet open safely, that's an important thing. Obviously, we don't want to go backwards, and we'd never want to get to a point that we were just a month ago, or when this all started 2 months ago. But we have to follow the law. And I know people have to live. I can say that the community has come together. If you haven't seen it, there are more food banks and more churches setting up food help, and we have to rely on our faith and on our churches and our community groups that help one another. If we have more than somebody else and we can help that group to get it to those people that are in need, then that's what we have to do. And there's nothing about being ashamed of going and picking up some food to feed your family or to help your workers in times of need. That's what it's all about. We need to help each other. And we need to make sure that we do that in the future if we ever were to get back to this. Businesses are going to suffer if people are sick and dying, and no one's going to want to come out if they can't feel safe. So if we can practice those CDC guidelines that are put out, we're going to put them on the website if they haven't posted them yet. And please tell all your fans, tell everybody that they need to continue to practice that. We continually get complaints to go and break up a party, a large group of people that are having a good time in back of someone's house. We don't want to do that as police officers. We don't want to have to be that person that has to break up a group like that. But people have to act responsibly. We're not out of this yet at all. So we really, really need to stress, let's get back to being safe. Let's get back to doing the things we need to do. And hopefully sooner than later, we'll be able to get back to having those good times and those backyard parties and those pool parties and things of that nature. But in the meantime, they can help us and help the businesses by doing things responsibly and making sure we do the right thing so that we get back on our feet quicker.
We have a question. It says, what resources are available to help those families cope and potentially decrease in this domestic violence? Either one of you guys can answer that.
Chief, well, one of the things we know that our Domestic Violence Advisory Commission provides information. There's a wealth of information on the city's website, and there's a link on our website to DVAC, the Domestic Violence Advisory Commission. But also, Chief, will you talk about the person you have on staff to work in that area with the commission?
Yes, ma'am. So we have a victims assistance coordinator. Her name is Darcy Donaldson, and she does a fantastic job with getting people the services that they need, or at least providing them with information where they can get those services. But I would say that if someone needs something along those lines of, they just need to talk to somebody, or they need to get some relief somewhere. If they want to call the department to speak to Darcy, she can get them that information. But I would say we've talked to Hickory Trails, we've talked to Dallas Behavioral in the city and out of Dallas, just up the street, and they have counselors on staff that we've referred people to. If someone doesn't reach out to us or reach out to someone to try and find that help, then we can't get them that help, because we don't know unless we get called to our home, and then we provide them that information. I'd rather do that on the front end before we get called out and someone call us to say, where can I go and get some help? We will put them at least in touch with some social services and some groups that want to help. There's some things on the county website where they have counselors and social service providers that are listed on there to help people get through this and to cope. And there's a lot of resources on the county website to deal with COVID. And if they just go to the county website and they go to that COVID-19 tab, that's going to list everything: how to stay safe, how to remain healthy, what to do to make face masks, all those different things that come up with this COVID-19 virus, and especially those things that will help you keep your emotions and your mental state in check.
You also have a group, I think it's through the police department, a group of pastors that you have that mentors in the community as well, don't you, Chief?
That's exactly right. DeSoto Police, Clergy, and Community. It used to be DeSoto Police and Community, and they just changed their name to DeSoto Police, Clergy, and Community. And they do a lot of good in the city as well. And they're made up of pastors in the city that have their own congregations, whether they're large or small, and they're there to help. And we can put you in touch with that group. But for the most part, if anybody has any affiliation with any church, boy, if you call them, they will help. And if they can't, they'll call us, and we will try to get them set up with anything we can. But most of the churches have really chipped in and helped out, and they've gotten a lot of volunteers. And if you can be a volunteer and help out because you've got some time to give, then check with your church and check with other community groups. We really need that to help each other out.
And Chief, to add to that, last week I was so moved by the service,
Yes,
that National Day of Prayer service that DeSoto Police and Clergy sponsored. It was something I requested. I said, COVID is not going to stop us from doing our National Day of Service. So this year it was done virtually at 7 at night. Normally we've done it at 7 in the morning on National Day of Service at City Hall. But the chair is Dr. Marcus King, who is the pastor of Disciples Central Community Church, DC3. And I told him, I know you get tired of my calling. He was like, no, Mayor. I've said call. But just a few weeks ago, I called because I said our community needs prayer. And with their help, we had an evening of prayer. Well, for National Day of Prayer, one of the things they added this year was they did a call out to the community to to donate, donate money for the food bank. It was two. It was the Soda Food Bank and Chocolate Mint Foundation. And they were just going to divide the monies that were donated in half. And I think it goes through this Friday. But for those who are listening, if you have any questions about that, please call Disciple Central Community Church or go online and look at their website. And there's some information there as to how to contact them, because their pastor is the chair and provided leadership in making this happen. So I'm very proud of our pastors in the community for initiating donating to the food banks. And when I tell you the need is there, we know that there are people in the community that have six-figure jobs, you know, and who have been laid off and are not working. So don't think some of the people needing food are just, you know, the low socioeconomic. You know, there's a lot more low socioeconomic now as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. So as the chief said, your volunteer services are needed, your donations are needed, and we encourage you to support these efforts.
All
Hey,
right.
one more thing about GPAC? What they called a Zoom meeting the other day to discuss what they can do for the graduating seniors.
Right.
And we discussed what we can put together, and they actually come up with a drive-through event that they're going to have. They're going to be putting it out. We've got some posters we just are having made right now, and so you know, they just want the graduating seniors. If there's not a graduation, then obviously we want to at least make them feel a little special and do something. And so partnering with Methodist Central Hospital and DPAC and the city and the school district and the police department, we've come up with this little plan, and we'll be advertising that shortly, but it's coming up in the next couple of weeks. So they want to give back to the community, and what is it that they can do in every little thing. And so again, counseling, mentoring, anything like that, we can get some help for anybody that needs it. We'll put them in the right place.
Awesome.
The posters, they're actually yard signs. They're absolutely beautiful.
They are.
They would be able to put in their yard where we're saluting them for graduation. So I'm excited about that, Chief.
Yes,
me too.
yes, that's awesome. So as we come to the close, Mayor McCowan, tell me, I mean, give your words that that you really want the community. What's your words to them as far as what you really want to say to them? You have the platform.
Thank you so much. First of all, Karen, thank you for inviting us to this show, and I'm really glad to be on with Chief Costa, because as he said earlier, he and I, probably more than anybody else I've seen, are out in the community, and we kind of tease each other about that. And so I want to commend him for that and want to encourage him to continue. And I look forward to us being back out there again with our children and our youth and families in the community. Please, DeSoto family and friends, please stay safe. We talked about all of the things that we all need to do. Wear our mask. Don't stop doing that. It is too early to even think about stopping that. All of the things in terms of hygiene that we've been told about, hand washing, all of that still matters. Making sure that we stay home as much as we can. And the large gatherings, it is just not time for that. We want to be able to get back to that, but we are not there yet. And I want our community to know that anybody who will listen to us, we are on all of the calls with federal officials, state officials, the regional officials, our county judge. DeSoto, your city is represented on all of those calls, and always at the table, even though it's the virtual table. But we are there, and we need you to work with us, help us. It's going to take all of us working together to get through this. And so when we say continue to practice social distancing, avoid getting, coming together in large crowds, we want to not just flatten the curve, we want to eradicate, and that's what flattening the curve means, I guess, but we want to eradicate this pandemic from our community, from our region, and really this is a worldwide problem, but it starts at home. If we're gonna do our best to make sure that we can get back to some semblance of normalcy, it's going to take all of us. And we're counting on our community to work with us to get it done. So thank you so much.
And tell us about the town hall meeting tomorrow.
Thank you. The town hall meeting with County Judge Clay Jenkins and the county medical official, Dr. Wong. I have to think about how to pronounce his name. Dr. Wong, you've seen both of them on TV all the time. That town hall is, the virtual town hall is from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Please go to the City of DeSoto website. And if you do www.desototexas.org, that will get you there. Or you can just put City of DeSoto in Google and it will get you to our website. There is a wealth of information there, including how to get on to this town hall tomorrow night. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And how about you, Chief? What words do you want to give out to the criminals?
First of all, Karen, thanks for asking me to be on. This has been great. And again, like the mayor said, yeah, we're always out together, so this was kind of natural for us to be together tonight to talk in this show. But I really enjoyed it. I'd like to come back again and talk about some other things, but time's gone by so fast tonight. So let me say that, the only way we can be good as a community is to work together. People have to work with us. We have to work with the community. I always say that, it takes an understanding of each of us, the community and the police, to understand each other, build that respect, know our expectations, and that all equals trust. And I think that we've built a lot of trust in the city. We've had our ups and downs. There have been some issues. There are always going to be issues that come up. But I ask people just remember that they trust in us, that we're going to do the right things, and that we need to work together. And if people see something, they have to say something and call us. We get a lot of good tips from people. We get a lot of information that people call us, but they got to continue to do that. Text us, call us, email us, and anything. And if they have an issue where they want some help for something, just call us, because we'll try to get them that help and line them up with those social services. So it's all about us working together, especially during this time. Those volunteers, those help with donations, to help us by helping police ourselves, so that we make sure we keep everybody safe and not do those things that are going to put us in any kind of harm's way, and protect your neighbors and the rest of your community. And together we're going to make a difference, and we're going to get back to normalcy as soon as this thing passes, and we'll be able to have some good times again. So I appreciate everybody's support in this time of need, and just be there for us, and we're there for them.
Right.
Awesome. There's
Karen,
somebody, yes.
Could I just say that I mentioned the website, but DeSoto uses all social media platforms. So if you look at whether it's Facebook, Twitter, the information is also there on all the social media platforms about COVID.
Yes. Somebody put on there, it takes a village. It's a great show. And that's one thing that I believe that we're building here in DeSoto. And I'm going to continue to say that we are a beautiful community with population of what we got, 50,000, Mayor, or a little under 50,000?
We're over 55,000.
We're over 55,000. Oh, the census. So we are a beautiful community here. So if anybody thinking about moving to Texas, try DeSoto. But when you come wanting to make us better.
Yeah,
that's what you got to do. You got to come wanting to make us better, because we're already headed towards becoming a great community. And so I love our community. I love our mayor. I love our chief. we're all here trying to make a better place for us to live and live comfortably. So, you guys, I am so honored. I appreciate you guys coming on the show and putting up with me. I'm normally not the lead, but I thank you guys. I thank you, God. I thank you guys. And I just thought it was important for us to give some local news of what's going on right here. And so thank you guys and thank everybody for watching the show. And if you have any comments, reach out to me. I can always get it to the mayor or to the chief if you have anything any comments or anything like that. Because we're all here working with each other. So
That's right.
awesome, you guys. So goodbye. Thank you
Bye.
guys for
Thank
coming on
you.
the show.
Our
Thank you.
pleasure.
Bye bye. You take care. Thanks again for inviting me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Hey y'all, I know I'm looking crazy and I don't care. I don't care. Um, I'm just very, very shocked about this news. Um, I love my mayor, and this community right now is mourning over our mayor. I think it might have been about a month ago, just hearing about her having, um, I believe, lung cancer, and just I just want to talk about how we maybe me take things for granted. I heard about it, and I did pray for her, but I didn't realize that it was something that was coming so quick. I didn't realize that. I just want to put a plea out to everybody to really look at life and how life is passing before us. Every time I'm going on Facebook, I'm constantly seeing something about somebody resting in peace. People are dying so quickly. And so I just, my plea, my heart is that we have to enjoy every moment in life, celebrate every moment in life. It's no time to hold grudges or having oughts against your brother. Is just no time for that right now. It is no time for that. And so I just want to say I love my mayor. She loved our kids. She loved football. She was always at the football games. She loved this community, and you could tell she loved this community. And so she is going to be so, so greatly missed. And I'm just, really shocked to hear that she's gone. I'm really shocked to hear that. And so, whoever's watching, lift up our community, the community, lift up this family, the McCowan family, her husband, Leon, lift them up, that God would comfort them, that He would be with them during this time, and lift up our community. You know, we just lift us up. We are, a small community, and when one hurt, we all hurt. And right now, we are hurting as a community. So I just wanted to show the video of her sharing her heart about this community. I just wanted to share the video. She believed in me. She's in my documentary, Path to the Draft, 7 Disorder Youth Players. And then she came on the show and said, no problem. Yes, sure, she came on the show. She believed enough in me. She came to the premiere. Somebody said, wow, you got the mayor? Yes. She believed enough in me and what I was doing and about this community that she came. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that of her showing her value in me as a community person. And so I just want, I just, you know, I just pray that she didn't suffer long, and that God will just bless this family, and that we will see her one day. We will see her one day. So that's all I got. Love you guys. You know, have a good night. Bye bye.